Fucking mistake. I'm just joking, Ben.
Fuck, I ain't.
Hello YouTube, welcome to F1 2019. We're here for EWRL Season 4, race number 3 of 21 for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. It's going to be a blast tonight. We have an 18 driver field and ready to go here at the Yas Marina circuit.
Those are two phrases that have never existed together before.
Why does the first person that gets to speak other than Emerson BG? That makes me angry. Why does BG the first one that speaks other than Emerson?
Don't worry, my teammate's shit. True.
I mean, you're not wrong.
But I'm just, the things he does say is just trivia. He keeps talking about trivia no one cares about.
Alright, and we're ready to go here for qualifying. About to get underway.
This isn't
Did you guys know that your body is made up of 70% water?
Welcome for round
I'm just like,
EWRL today.
I'm just, BG treats it as like we're in a classroom and he's our teacher.
Marina Bay.
Did you know?
He's that one nerdy kid who always tries to talk. Just gets shut down.
Well, yeah, he's the teacher's pet. Whenever, you know, she asks a question, he's always on the answer.
Low-key, that actually weren't me.
The track is open for business.
I know I was BG.
Here comes the Mercedes. We have Big Boy making his first start of the season. He's been waiting to do this all season.
Holy shit, guys! It's a dry race.
I'm sorry.
Did you know?
He's been trying to get points this season. It is the Racing Points, Pappy's first start of the season.
Else, but I was expecting some rain in Dubai. Sorry, Emerson.
Why is the Williams Halo so fat? Shit is thick. Thick boy.
And the Ferrari of Pillars out on an outlap already has one win on the season, trying to double that here tonight. Toro Rosso. We have Freddie out on the circuit, also on an outlap. Many things in the Red Bull. Markle making his return once again. Last week was substituted by Malenko. He's back in his own McLaren this week. How about the Mercedes of Troy out on the track? Has been dominant, but hasn't put a W in that column just yet. Pappy here and ready to do battle in the Racing Point. Colton in the Mercedes. Malenko in, substituting for Ben in the Williams. Had connectivity issues before the race. And Brian in the McLaren. Trying to keep the double point streak alive for McLaren.
I can get points around this place.
Just hoping I won't have to carry Mercedes through the constructors.
No, you will. It's been decided.
And now the grid.
Yeah, but at least it's scoring points.
The entire grid on an outlap, except Motorsports is in the pit lane. A very busy circuit.
Just all the other top teams. You have Ben doing good, then you have Avenged.
How about Hector, our points
Markle,
leader?
And you got BG.
Trying to get another pole on the season.
Let this Toro Rosso guy go by.
Holy fuck, this Williams is terrible.
Zesty, or Hector, has a 1-point lead over the Ferrari of Pillars heading into tonight's Grand Prix, and 2 points over the Mercedes of Troy.
Everybody move.
Seriously, we gotta get going here. Someone's gotta go. What's going on?
On board with the Ferrari of Pillars.
They really slow lap time.
Dude, yeah, why are we all just sitting here?
So these two lanes go by. Oh, and then things.
Holy fuck, there's a traffic jam.
Yeah, I see that.
Hopefully you don't
I'm
get
on a
that,
lap too.
Marco.
If I come up
Caution
to
in
them,
Sector
I'm
3 as the
going to.
Ferrari is approaching that sector.
Yeah, I'm gonna catch them, I think. They don't
That's
get
an
gone.
ooh.
if you're watching on YouTube, the projection is that we will break 100,000 channel views during this broadcast. So I just want to thank everybody for all their support over the 9 years I've been doing this. How about Pillars to the top of the charts, a 135.380. Markle up to second. Brian down to fourth. As many things goes to second. Malico into Williams to second. A 136.4. Still an entire second and a tenth off of the Ferrari.
Hey, see, I took that first 2 turns better. I'm up 3/10. Damn it. Yes.
Oh, me straight up left the session.
I didn't interrupt your lap there, Dan, did I?
On board with Hector to see if he can top of a pole time.
Time to pit. Turn.
Connectivity issues has plagued us this season, but we try and we push on with an 18 driver grid. Still a phenomenal driver amount. Oh, and he must be lagging out.
I mean, he can still get back in.
He can get back in and still retain his pole position, but he can easily be beaten as well. Foursquare at the moment qualified outside the top 10, sat 12th. Troy goes to second in the Mercedes. Here comes Hector in the Alfa Romeo. Top of the charts by nearly half a second.
Yep.
A 134.8 for Hector. Pillars half a second back. Troy over an entire second, nearly 1.5 seconds back. Malika over 1.5 seconds back. Rolo nearly 2 seconds back. That's your top 5.
Yeah, I'm going early 9th, E5 with top 5 separated by 2 whole seconds.
Here comes Volcanic, 147.892, blazing in that Ferrari. So 17 of the 18 drivers have taken time in the session. We still await the Williams of Motorsports in subbing for David to set a lap. Oh, and Rolo is out of the session. Did he crash it in Sector 3? It appears so. Yes, he's gone straight off in Sector 3. But he set a top 5 lap time for the time being. So, the time will stand, but he will not have a chance to improve upon that lap time. Markle in that McLaren on and out lap. Malika was able to get 7th position last week for Markle.
Oh, I went 12th fastest. Ooh.
How about Dan? Is he going for another timed lap as he is getting his ERS reserve up to speed? Ready to get going here. We're about to see the Alfa Romeo of Dan get going here on another timed lap. Right now sat 8th on the chart. Alfa Romeo right now leading constructors. Pillars has rejoined. Right now sat 2nd on the charts. Oh, and the Alfa Romeo's going around. Early in Sector 1. How about Octane and the Haas? Right now, in the 11th position on an out lap. Octane has been very consistent for the most part, up in the points for most of the Grand Prix this season, during the Grand Prix. It'll be interesting to see if he can continue that here at the Yas Marina circuit.
Thank you, Trey.
Just ran out of fuel again.
So now, Markle, Inva McLaren right now heading into Sector 3. See what he can do.
Definitely holding on to P12. That's nice. I'm just gonna watch there.
And Markle through Sector 3. It won't be pole, but trying to improve on his time. He goes third quickest, just under a second off.
I don't know how he's hitting 134 at all.
So how about the McLaren into the podium position for the time being in qualifying. That's a row 2 start. How about the Mercedes, the Colton, up here in the top 10. Here comes Motorsports. A 140.749.
See how little double guys corner a bit later there. Goes 15th fastest. Don't know who got in front of me there, but somebody did it as well.
And Octane in the Haas goes 5th quickest. Now knocking Malenko out of the top 5. And Colton up to 7th. That moves Rolo down another position. Many things about to get going on a timed lap here. Let's ride on board with the Red Bull.
Oh, I got 4th.
Oh, and the Williams up to 4th. How about that for Malenko, the substitute for Ben?
I think just the boys, no way.
Many things in for Red Bull now in Sector 3.
That's Volcanic, he just came out of pit lane.
And here comes the Red Bull of many things through the final corner. He'll go 9th quickest, so it'll improve ahead of the Renault.
What's up, many things.
So now Pillar's on an out lap. Troy right now trying to improve upon his time into the final 2 corners. Oh no, he's heading back to the pit lane. Let's ride on board with Pillars. On his way to get going here to try to out-qualify the Alfa Romeo. Here he goes. Let's ride on board with the Ferrari for a hot lap around the Yas Marina circuit. And I've just refreshed the number. We are at exactly 100,000 channel views.
Woo!
That is awesome. That is honestly amazing.
That's nice.
Marco over here. Whew, this guy.
That's nice. I didn't say this guy.
Yeah, but how you said that. That's nice. Like you didn't give a fuck.
Man, I wish
wow.
Ben was here.
I guess there is
He's
not
probably the only one
sound.
that, other than Troy, that could probably beat
Just
Dusty.
lost time to find the middle bit there. Didn't find myself there.
And the Ferrari has aborted his lap. He'll have another go. Troy on an outlap, Marco on an outlap, Malco in Octane in the pit lane. Dan right now in the 13th position. So Pillars once again trying to out-qualify the Alfa Romeo.
I'm currently third last. Sometimes it's good to start from the group, you know. So.
So tonight was the 319th EWRL race. And the channel was started before the league was formed, so there was obviously previous content before, but with 319...
Oh, BG just dominated someone.
Oh!
I tried to get out of your way.
And
I went straight on.
the
but you
McLaren has made contact with the Mercedes of Troy. That's Brian and Troy getting together in the second to final corner.
I was half a second up too.
I went straight on, but you kept going.
Pillars has improved this time to a 135 flat, but looks like it won't be enough to beat Hector. Again, the top three in points. They are first, second, and third. Malco in subbing for Ben is now in the 5th position.
Up to third.
Many Things is 5th in points, and he's qualified 9th for the time being. Markle's 6th in points is qualified 3rd. Dan sat 7th in points. On a timed lap, let's ride on board with the Alfa Romeo.
Is anybody actually going for proper laps, or are they all just...
Well, then Foursquare is
Oh, damn.
8th in points and is qualified 8th. Octane, 9th in points, is qualified 6th for the time being. Steven right now sat 10th in points, did not make it tonight.
It's unfortunate.
Volcanic, 11th in points with 2 points. Did end up getting 1 point last week. and is qualified 16th. Hector's improved his time to a 134.529. Pillars, there's nothing he can do about it. Markle looks like he's on the cooldown lap as well. Troy, try as he might, he'll get second. It is a 134, but it's a 134.998.
I'm fine with the 135. Cutting in here.
You guys are fast.
And that is everybody. Oh, and the Ferrari's pulled it into the pit lane. Now we have to wait instead of just crossing the start-finish line. Oof, and it just right by the start-finish line.
I mean, Markle's still out, so.
Oh yeah, I'm just having a cool down
anyway.
So.
Just hit
All right. Just please cross the start-finish.
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right, sweet deal.
Whoever said hit the wall, fuck you. Oh well.
Uh-oh.
Rolo, right now, he's 12th in points, but he's qualified 10th. Brian sat 13th in points, is qualified 12th.
Who the fuck destroyed my team?
Oh my goodness.
Christian.
It's on the stream too.
Who the hell murdered my AI?
5 positions.
Did you saw what happened? You saw what happened though, Dan.
So here is our starting lineup.
EG ran in the back of you and you got a penalty for it?
The McLaren and the Mercedes made contact. Troy will suffer because of that.
They both have
and it sounds, yeah, Brian as well, but Brian is already towards the rear. He'll just be 17th instead of 12th. But Troy is going to go from 2nd to 7th. That is tragic.
I went straight on, and so did BG. I was just trying to get out of the way.
Yeah, BG did follow him.
Very interesting situation.
Yes,
But,
even
yeah.
Dan agrees with me. I have an eyewitness this time.
Yeah. BG followed him.
I mean,
I was gonna make a wider line into it because I kept losing time when I made a narrow arc into it.
I was gonna say I thought I was well wide enough.
Oh, true stuff, okay.
I thought he was gonna move out of the way better.
I was.
Interesting.
alright. It's just qualifying. Let's just remember better spatial awareness in qualifying next time. Let's get let's get on with the race, shall we? Here at the Yas Marina circuit, not everybody's favorite track, but it can produce some great racing should these drivers be able to keep it with each other, right? Oh, by the way, we have a 28 lapper on our hands, but before that, we have our all-important information lap. But we will be going from dusk to nighttime tonight. It's going to be a blast, and it's going to be a beautiful scene here at the Yas Marina circuit here in Abu Dhabi.
Whoa! Woohoo!
Whoa, and there's a crash on the formation lap.
Oh my god.
Well, I can't hit the person in front of me, so...
And
Isn't telling me.
Guys, come on, let's practice so close to the
3 cars have been parked for the formation lap. The Racing Point, the Alfa Romeo, and the Haas. That's Pappy, Dan, and Ryan. But let's go through our starting lineup.
Good start to the career.
Here, row 1, we have the Alfa Romeo of Hector, who is getting on with it on his formation lap. Starting alongside of him, we'll have the Ferrari of Pillars. Row 2, we'll have the McLaren of Markle. And alongside of him, we'll have the Mercedes of Colton. Row 3, we'll have the Williams, Malenko in for Ben. Row 6, alongside of him, we'll have Octane. Row 4, we'll have Troy in the Mercedes, and alongside of him, Foursquare in the Red Bull. Row 5, we'll have many things in the Red Bull, and alongside of him, we'll have Rolo in the Renault. Row 6, we'll have Pappy in the Racing Point, and Dan in the Alfa Romeo. Row 7, we'll have Christian in the Toro Rosso, and Ryan in the Haas. Row 8, we'll have Volcanic in the Ferrari, and Freddie in the Toro Rosso. In row 9, we'll have Brian in the McLaren, and motorsports in the Williams. So here he goes. The grid is making their way through Sector 3. We're about to get going. Again, I just want to give a big thanks. As I guess Facebook was not able to hear it, but with about 3 minutes remaining in the qualifying session, the channel, the YouTube channel for the league has hit over 100,000 channel views. So again, just a huge thanks for all the support over the past 9 years.
I wanted to imitate BG.
You're ruining
Emerson's heartfelt thanks. Shut up.
It's fine. Anyway, it has been a blast, and let's just see if we can improve from there. But anyway, it's time to bring the action. The field gridded up and ready to go. Because you know why?
Why is that, Emerson?
We've got 5 red lights. And it is lights out. And away we go. The Ferrari's underway, but a poor start. How about Marco up the inside? Side by side, they're 3 wide further back, trying to make it through turn 1.
Is lagging a ton.
The Red Bulls going at it. Many things up to 7th. Oh, and the Mercedes of Colton has gone off, and there's contact between the Haas into the Toro Rosso. A big accident. The Toro Rosso into the... Oh, and the Toro Rosso's out. The VSC has been deployed. Pappy has been nailed in a huge accident coming through the second corner of the Grand Prix. A terrible, terrible incident. A multi-car incident here has brought out the virtual safety car on lap 1 here at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix.
Many things with lag is terrible.
The Mercedes and the Haas made contact, and it was on from there. Looks like Octane and Colton made contact. But anyway, working our virtual safety car here on the opening lap of the Grand Prix. Hector leads over Pillars. Troy 3rd, Marco 4th, Manythings 5th, Foursquare 6th, Rolo 7th, Malenko 8th, Volcanic 9th, Christian in the top 10 with his Toro Rosso. Dennis into 11th, and we are green, and Hector's got a drive-through penalty for speeding under the VSC. Drivers just trying to get everything they can get, and Hector was just trying to get every bit of speed he can get under that VSC, but he must have gotten into positive delta right at the end. I'm sorry, in the overly positive delta right at the end. But Hector with the fastest lap on the opening lap, hindered by a VSC. It was a 151. Christian and Octane into the pit lane.
Oh, the fucking curve.
Fix damage. And around goes the Williams of Malenko. Trying to get back going without hindering anybody. He was up near the front. Caught the curb. And now the Williams are 13th and 14th. It could have been anyone. It's a very hectic start. But understandably, the Toro Rosso that's out is not happy. And it was a tragic incident. I mean, cars all over the track. It's just very tough to predict where cars are going to be at that high rate of speed. Alright, so Pillars right now in second had a huge cut through one of the corners there at the end of the second straightaway. He is the effective leader when Pillars ultimately serves his drive-through penalty. I'm sorry, Hector serves his drive-through penalty. Pillars is the theoretical leader in that sense. And around goes the Mercedes of Colton as Hector sets the fastest lap of a 1:39.680.
Oh, Foursquare's round.
Foursquare's gone around in the Red Bull on the front straightaway. Probably a little too much power on the exit of the final corner. Yeah, this week he's made a few.
You got loose.
Ooh,
So did you.
My tires are on fire.
This
Yeah,
track is
but I'm
ass,
not
but
Mr. Consistent.
What the fuck?
I'm like 15%.
The curb is terrible for the long way.
The Williams of Malenko has gone around a second time, catching the inside curbing there through the second corner. Has not proved well for the Williams. Maybe they'll take a different line through there the next lap. So Hector's now pulled up to a 1.6 second lead. How about many things? Inva Red Bull, him and his aggressive nature going at it now with the McLaren of Markle sat behind Troy Inva Mercedes. Remember, Troy had a grid penalty, started 7th in the Grand Prix, already into the top 3, and he's catching the theoretical leader of Pillars, who sat 2nd at the moment for whenever Hector makes a drive-through.
Mistake.
So quite the battle here. As queued up, we have the Mercedes, the McLaren, and the Red Bull. And here comes Hector into the pit lane to serve his pass-through penalty. A caution in Sector 3. That has...
Motorsports hit the wall.
Ooh. The Williams of Motorsports has made contact with the wall, but there's a little bit of wing damage, but not enough, I think, to warrant a pit stop, so he should be good to go. As Hector still coming through the pit lane, a very slow pit lane. Up the hill he goes, and up the speed he'll come out in the 8th position, right in front of the Haas of Ryan, and right behind his teammate in the other Alfa Romeo, Dan. So Pillars to the race lead with a 2-second lead over Troy. Markle sat 3rd, Many Things 4th, and Rolo into the top 5. Remember, Rolo, he did not make last week, but in the first Grand Prix of the season, he was dominating most, well, not dominating, but he was leading a good chunk of the race.
He did not slow down.
And a terrible incident, a lap car, or a slower car had crashed and come right into the racing line. Here comes Markle for a pass on the Mercedes. Up the left side he goes. He'll clear the Mercedes into the corner. Here comes Many Things, another lunge. Many Things has to give way to Troy. Again, that's turns 11, 12, and 13. A very tight technical chicane. And now Many Things really hounding the Mercedes. Had to get out of it there before. Oh, and Troy has gone into the back of the McLaren.
What? Did I?
And
I didn't...
Many Things is around as well.
Markle, I did not touch you on my screen, swear to God.
Many Things trying to get going. A lot of damage in a very tight spot on the racetrack. That's turn 17 where the contact was made. And around goes Many Things again. Oh, he's backing up. Hopefully he doesn't get back into traffic. He's going to spin it back around. Here comes a Williams. Trying to get back going on a 3-second time penalty for Brian for multiple warnings.
Oh my God, again.
Rolo into the pit lane, possibly damage. Here comes Many Things. Not a lot of wing damage, but into the pit lane. Probably overheated tires. Fair enough. Foursquare's had another incident, I believe, the final corner. Back to 13th position.
Wow. Tires are dead. Tires are dead, Bono.
Now Foursquare racing on the pit exit, racing with Rolo on the pit exit. Rolo on fresh tires is going to chop right to the right side of the Red Bull. Who heads up racing? Smooth and steady as they come. How about Brian into 8th and Motorsports into 9th? Malenko back into the top 10 after taking a few spins through the second corner. It looks like he's figured out how to take that corner and is on his merry way. How about Dan onto the podium? Volcanic right now in 4th, battling Hector. Hector is on a mission, racing that Ferrari with some heart to try to get back up front. But Volcanic defending hard. How about Volcanic again into the top 4? Very, very nice drive for the time being as Ferrari is sat 1st and 4th. So Volcanic fending off Hector. Hector into the pit lane now. This might be a scheduled pit stop, or was it for damage? It is not for damage. He's fitting a new set of tires. How about Motorsports here? Right now, 8th. A very nice drive from Motorsports for the time being. Let's take a look at the tires that everybody's using, and they're all over the place. Troy and Markle going at it. Once again, Markle back in front of Troy. Troy looking up the inside of the McLaren. About Volcanic into 3rd position. On the podium for the time being, a double podium for Ferrari at the time being, and Dan in the Ferrari sandwich. The sandwich, obviously a very big one, as the top 3 are separated by 14 seconds. So again, the battle for 4th rages on as the McLaren of Markle, the Mercedes of Troy, try to fend off one another. How about Ryan quietly making his way into the top 10? At 6th, looking for a top 5. And Pillars is in. Dan will take over the race lead as Volcanic is in. Why would the Ferrari stack? What are they doing? Pillars is down and away. Are the Ferrari team ready to go? They barely stacked, but you can see the crew was almost not ready. That was very sketchy.
Wasn't that the lap I gave me to come in? Or was it lap 7? I think I gave in on the wrong lap.
Anyway, Volcanic comes out right in front of Troy as Motorsports into the 7th position now on his opening stint. Volcanic gets away from Troy as Malico splits them. Malico on 6-lap old tires compared to the other 2 on fresh softs. This looks like a 2-stop strategy for the boys on softs. We should be pitting now for softs, and at probably lap 14 for a set of mediums to go to the end. Many things on a set of hards trying to go to the end after a very early spin. How about Ryan on Markle up to the 2nd position in that Haas?
Can't wait to fix this one.
Phenomenal drive from Ryan to start this Grand Prix. Only a quarter of the way through. Now Markle on defense against Pillars as Ryan goes very wide through turn 17. And now these guys are going to queue up the Haas, the McLaren, the Ferrari queued up. Markle's going to be smart here and give the Ferrari the lane with very fresh mediums. And there he goes, Pillars. Very clean pass by both of those drivers. Pillars back onto the podium and on a mission to increase his lead. Again, racing Hector as Rolo sets the fastest lap in the Renault, a 1:38.630 on the mediums. Hector right now racing Brian in the McLaren. He's trying to pull away because his competition is 11 seconds up the road in the Ferrari. And Pillars closing the gap on Dan. He's also bringing Ryan along with him. They have both gapped the McLaren of Markle.
Still a couple of turn stops.
And how about the top 3, the top 4 all in one frame right there. A racing point, Pappy into the pit lane. Again, the top 4 all in one frame, separated by 3.5 seconds. Pillars on a mission as he approaches the Alfa Romeo. How hard will Dan defend? Oh, has to get out of it. Dan holding on to the spot as he should. The Pillars fighting hard. Oh no! Haas has a huge moment through turn 20. As to keep the car under control, Pillars looking to the right side now of Dan Markle into the pit lane. Trying to get the crossover going. Dan holding on to the race lead. Does he not look like he's back in championship form? Look at how well Dan is defending on 6-lap older tires as a race leader.
Go, go, go.
Pillars trying, and he should have the DRS down this straight, and it should be game over for Dan in the race lead for this time. And here comes the Ferrari pulling out the pass side by side down the back. Ryan in the picture. Don't know who that person is, but they can't do anything mid-race.
Right, he's still yet to make a stop.
So Pillars to the race lead. Dan would try. He's looking to the outside into turn 11. Trying to get the preferred line through turn 12. Keeping the Alfa Romeo under control as Pillars shoots through turn 13, now through 14. Ryan is there looking for a second. The Alfa Romeo losing control. Ryan looks to the left side. The top three, 8/10 of a second separate them. The Alfa Romeo and the Haas both go wide. They're on old mediums, 8-lap old mediums.
Sorry, Mal, if I don't think I hit you, but sorry if I did.
And Hector has now brought the lead down to 6.5 seconds. Dan, now that you think about it, might have been playing the teammate game, trying to hold up Pillars, knowing that those two are racing one another. Making the job a little bit easier for Hector. Volcanic holding steady in the 7th position. Malico in the pit lane as well, with his 9-lap old and destroyed softs after a couple spins. Many things by on the hards.
Markle's gonna be chasing me down like crazy, I just know it.
How about Rolo into the top 5? 10 seconds back off the race lead. Ryan trying to find a way around the Alfa Romeo, but wow, that Ferrari has gapped the Alfa Romeo and the Haas by 5 seconds and counting. Now Hector is here. There's a caution in sector 2. Whoa! The Mercedes has gone around.
Don't block me there, dickhead.
Feel bad for that Mercedes guy, whoever went around.
As Brian and Colton going at it, the McLaren and the Mercedes must have made contact at the end of the first of the 2 back straightaways. Dan and Ryan pit together. Hector into second, a clear road for him, 7.5 seconds back. Rolo up to 3rd, Troy into 4th, Volcanic 5th. Ryan comes, he's jumped the Alfa Romeo in the pit lane. Markle up to 6th. And a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings for the Mercedes of Colton. So Ryan comes out 7th over Dan sat 8th. Christian quietly into the top 10 in 9th. And Octane up to 10th after a insane opening lap incident. Outside the top 10, we have Many Things 11th, Brian 12th, Foursquare 13th, Malico 14th, Motorsports 15th, Pappy 16th, Colton 17th. Down and away from his pit box. Hector on a mission, chasing down Pillars. Again, the top 2 in points are 1-2 in the running order. Entering the Grand Prix
clear Malaco.
Hector had a 1-point advantage over Pillars. Now, they would leave if the race were to finish where they are, Pillars would have a 6-point advantage. And Rolo would propel himself into a competitive position within the top 10 in points. Here comes many things on the hards on Brian. How hard does he push to try to get around the McLaren is the big question, because he is trying to go to the end on those hards. Christian into the pit lane. This should put Brian back into the top 10. Many things up to 11th. Wow, Brian mighty wide through the first corner. Oh, and a lunge from the Red Bull, and around he goes, keeping the car under control. I don't know how he thought that one was going to work. And now he'll have to try it at Brian once again if he doesn't get caught by Malenko. Malenko will not have DRS, as he was not within 1 second of the gap to many things by DRS detection. And back here we have Red Bull Williams, and a 3-second time penalty for many things for multiple warnings. And if he's been driving anything like the way he tried to overtake Brian, that makes total sense. So we go from Brian sat 10th to Ryan sat 7th in the Haas.
Marco's gonna get past me, no doubt.
Ryan now just trying to hold on to that spot. Dan on the charge. A battle that could be brewing here in a second is this battle for the 5th position. Marco and the McLaren trying to chase down the Ferrari ahead of him. The Ferrari ahead of him has 2 lap older tires than him, but they're on the same compound.
Anything is just so laggy.
And around gone Octane.
It is so hard to race around many things.
And Octane gets back going. A 3-second time penalty for the race leader for corner cutting.
Not surprised.
And now, effectively, Hector only has to catch 2.5 seconds.
Honestly, I'm not even going to bother to try and fight Marco. He's just in a different league to me.
So here comes the battle we've been waiting for. Marco's gone by the Ferrari up to the 5th position. While will Volcanic have a go back?
Just stay in this section as best as I can.
Anything has just become Newman now because of his lag.
Many things defending hard for his 1 point, which at the moment he holds over Malenko, substituting in for Ben. We're right on board with the Williams to watch him navigate.
What's the buck? He just lagged back into my wing.
And Rolo, a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Now Malenko should have the go at many things. I'll have DRS. Up the inside goes Malenko. Manyfinks cuts the inside there through turn 8. I'm sorry, that's actually turn 9. Manyfinks back by with DRS. The battle brewing for 1 point on the race. Manyfinks again racing for his own points as Malenko trying to squeak out at least 1 point for Williams, but both Williams drivers are right there, right outside of points. And Malenko, around he goes!
He just lagged backwards, fucking into me.
Well, with 0 ERS, so I think that would be a huge answer right there.
I don't know if you're on that. I got 2 ERS.
You think I can make it from medium to the end here, or will I have to do hards?
Yeah, you can do mediums.
Yeah.
Probably good.
So Hector up front is exactly 3 seconds behind Pillars, which is exactly the time penalty that Pillars has. Octane has gone 1 lap down in the Grand Prix. Very disappointing to see him involved in so many incidents here. Had a top 10 car, but not able to come through with it. He obviously can still get back onto the lead lap with safety cars and whatnot. Troy into the pit lane, fits a set of mediums. He's going to the end. He's going to try to get the overcut.
Go boxes, mediums, almost stop. Tries to run about 50%. So.
I'm sorry, the undercut. The overcut would be staying out. I'm going to try to get the undercut on Rolo.
I do. You think it was on purpose? You think I would purposely try and damage my wing? Yeah,
Troy and Dan going at it. Troy for 7th, gone and clear.
Brakes
5 lap
can
pressure
be very,
tires.
very temperamental things.
Octane back onto the lead lap. As
I come out of pit lane and someone's spinning right there. What the
oh,
fuck?
the racing point! And the VSC has been deployed. The racing point and the Williams got together. Pit exit, Malenko.
Well, time to just save my video clip. That's the race is over.
Both of those drivers have fallen a lap down. Oh, and around goes Rolo under the safety car. Under the VSC. Hector goes right back by. Hector took the opportunity to pit under the VSC. Rolo's gone around. And we are green, back to racing here at Abu Dhabi. And a hectic one it's been. Volcanic and Motorsports into the pit lane. And a 3-second time penalty for Malenko for multiple warnings.
Yeah, because of the wing.
A tough race for a lot of these guys. Just down the running order. Motorsports is down and win. A 3-second time penalty for Brian for multiple warnings. Racing many things. 2 aggressive ones going at it. And a 5-second penalty for Octane for ignoring the blue flag. Oh my. And the leader's just coming to pit now. That is terrible. Terrible timing. I don't know if really Octane deserves that 5-second penalty. I mean, if he was in front of the leader and holding him up, that is one thing. But he clearly was fast enough to get lapped and then pass him back. And then he wasn't passed back for a while, and then the VSC obviously helped. Touchy situation, but something to review, possibly, if it makes a difference. But that is... that's wild. But Hector back to the race lead as Pillars comes out. Pillars will have slightly fresher tires and 5.2 seconds to gain. Rolo trying to get up to the podium, or stay on the podium and try to get second, higher up on the podium. And Brian is out of the Grand Prix. And another VSC has been deployed. It's our third VSC of the evening. Rambo or Christian.
Oh, yo, Marco.
Oh,
terrible. Wow, just rough exit for Brian there to turn, what is that, 18. You can hear Colton just instantly in the mindset of karma. Wow, that is very interesting. We are green once again. Hector, a 3.7 second lead over Pillars. 3.2 seconds. Hector must have been really saving under the VSC or something. He has been truly caught from a decent gap. Troy into 4th position. So this is Hector trying to add on to his point lead. Rolo trying to get back into points competition, and Troy trying to stay up there. So Ryan into the fifth position, right? And holding on to it for the time being. Here comes our 2-time series champion Dan to have a go at the Haas in the time to come. With 10 laps remaining here in the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Many things into the pit lane. Possibly going to softs to the end. And that is what he will be trying to do. He'll have about 8 laps to go on those softs. Drivers did go 9 earlier in the Grand Prix. And looks like where many things comes out should still be double points for Red Bull. But the very bottom of the order. Motorsports trying to change that, trying to close the gap on Foursquare. Foursquare has a lap fresher tires on Motorsports. Volcanic comfortably into points with 8th place being 31 seconds ahead of 10th place. So, as long as Volcanic takes it easy, not making mistakes, he should be okay. As he is well over 11 seconds back of Markle. Dan has a little bit of a moment through turn 17.
Okay, Dan. Oh, I don't lie.
And Rolo into the pit lane. He's going to be fitting a set of softs to the end. So Troy back into 3rd position. Here comes Dan into the pit lane. He'll be possibly fitting a set of softs. Into the stall he goes, and it'll be a set of softs it is. Volcanic into the 7th position. Rolo comes out 6th, tries to chase down Markle for a top 5. Markle trying to close in on Ryan. Ryan has been very clean this race. No incidents and just right up into 4th position. Very, very commendable. Now Markle into McLaren having to go. and he just blows right on by with the help of DRS. Again, the drag reduction system allows these drivers on certain straightaways to open up the rear wing and get a speed advantage. 12 seconds. So 12 seconds between the 7th place driver in the Ferrari Volcanic and 8th place driver Dan. And the fastest lap for Hector, a 1:38.356 on the mediums. However, there's a lot of drivers on softs right now that can easily take that point away. So Pillars right now, 1 lap fresher tires than Hector and is 4 seconds back of the race lead. Plus his 3-second time penalty. It will be interesting to see if he can gain the time to catch Hector and pass and open up a gap. Troy now comfortably into the 3rd position and not looking to get caught by the driver behind, which is Markle, which is 8 seconds back. Has a comfortable gap over him, but 1 lap older tires than Markle. Ryan on 10 lap old mediums. Does he come in for softs later in the run, or is he going to try to seek these out to the end? And many things, right as I say it, takes away the fastest lap from Hector, a 1:37.508 on the softs in that Red Bull.
Lap car is pushing. Last time Racing Point or Force India did this, it didn't end well. Oh, he's backing out a bit there. Just want to overtake me, thank you very much. Probably should let him go past though. It's pretty quick. Keeps on just backing off.
Rolo has gone around Ryan into the 5th position on very fresh softs. Does Rolo have something for the fastest lap? Here it comes through turn 20. And into turn 21. Oh, I have to correct the car. Not that lap, but it was a 1:38.0. And Ryan into the pit lane. To fit a set of softs to the end. This propels Volcanic into the 6th position.
Oof, I lagged out.
And that is tragic. Malico has lagged out.
It doesn't matter. I was like up to 15.
It was not going to be a points day in that sense, but still terrible. Not able to see the end of the Grand Prix. Dan up to 7th over Ryan, but Ryan has 2 lap fresher tires than Dan and 4 seconds to catch. And a caution in sector 3. That is a Haas going around. That's Octane. Oh, you really do feel for him. That is, again, a top 10 and competitive car in the points standings. But just a lot of incidents have caught out Octane today. It could have been a double points day for Haas with how well Ryan is running. Motorsports into the pit lane, fitting a set of softs. Back into the 14th position. Now Rolo closing the gap on Markle. Again, 3 lap pressure and softer tires than Markle. Not sure why that person continues to join, but again, cannot do anything mid-race. Should be moving this to invite only next week. Here comes Rollo up the inside of the McLaren. Help a DRS. He's locking up. Markle trying to get the crossover, but Rollo able to hold that line. Now Markle on the left side. Who's going to get the DRS here? It's Rollo on the right side. Woo, that was a sketchy lockup there into the chicane, but he's able to hold on to it. And he's locking up again. He's able to hold on to it. He's really driving that car as hard as he can. Into the 4th position, 8 seconds back of Troy. Not sure if he can catch Troy, but it would be something to see. It's outside of points, but the battle for 12th is brewing. Fulton over Octane over Motorsports, about to get into it for 12th position. See how long Colton can hold these guys off. Motorsports on fresh softs coming up on the Haas. Motorsports with the slipstream up the inside of the Haas. Hold that inside, and a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings for Motorsports. Ouch. Already back there. So it's looking like Hector trying to get himself his 2nd win of the season. I mean, it's wild. He comes in and he's put in a lot of work. I cannot tell you how much time he has spent practicing week in, week out. He's leading the points because of it. Taking this very seriously, and it is paying off. 4 laps to go here at Abu Dhabi, and he could very easily go back-to-back for his first 2 career victories in the league in his first 3 Grand Prix. And then a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. And that will allow Ryan, as long as Ryan doesn't lose any more time, to get that position from Dan. Ryan does have 2 lap pressure tires as well.
Laps to go.
Right. So Hector now through the chicane and heading into sector 3, approaching a lap car. I believe that is 11th place Christian. So at this rate, it looks like all the drivers on the lead lap will be all the drivers getting points. It looks like Hector will catch Christian before this Grand Prix is over. Obviously that can change. .1 seconds to gap up front. Plus Pillars has a 3-second time penalty to his name. So Haas has gone wide. I believe that's Octane. Back to the 14th position.
Corner cut back there.
So 2 Grand Prix in a row, we've had an opening lap crash that has taken out at least 1 driver and brought out at least a VSC. What do we expect next week?
Japan.
Next week's Grand Prix is at the Suzuka circuit in Japan for the Japanese Grand Prix. Hey, but at least these drivers are going to get Japan out of the way very early in the schedule. That is the highlight to that being week 4. It is not towards the end of the schedule like it usually is. So Hector... Not sure. Oh, it was race 1, yeah. Japan has been gone very early in the schedule the past couple seasons now. And it does, you know...
Bit of a mistake through that chicane there.
Keep drivers around. Hector has been just maintaining the gap. There's a blue flag. So Rolo right now in 4th. 2.4 seconds is gap. Can he gain that much and pass Troy in 2 laps to go? Rolo trying to get a podium. Ryan and Dan going at it. So if Dan's 3-second time penalty almost solidifies Ryan's 7th place finish, Dan into the pit lane, he's going to move many things up a spot. And I don't think he's close enough. So I believe Dan will still hold on to points paying position. Right, but the next guy is still in the middle of Sector 3. After Foursquare. So, looks like the Alfa Romeo will still hold on to a point position. So here comes Hector through the final corner. 1 lap to go here at Abu Dhabi. All he's got to do is bring it home. And Rolo has not made any indents in the gap between himself and Troy. You can see him. He's locking up a little bit and might keep him from getting there. The gap is 2.1 seconds now. 2 seconds. 1 lap to go here at Abu Dhabi. Can he get there? Try as he might for a podium. A caution. Oh, and the Mercedes has gone around. Ooh, evasive action from the Renault. Woohoo! That was a wild view. Hopefully he is all right to try to finish. The gap now 1.5 seconds. He's not close enough for DRS. There's a lap car there on the inside. That's Motorsports giving way to 3rd and 4th place. Rolo trying to get there at a 3-second time penalty for Christian. Not close enough to affect his finishing position. Hector through Sector 3, but you're not missing anything. The gap now 1 second from Vereno. Can he get there? Can he get to the podium position? Here comes Hector through the final corner. He's going to go back-to-back here for his first 2 career victories in his first 3 starts. Here comes Pillars off of turn number 21. He'll come home 2nd. And here's the battle for 3rd. The Mercedes going at it. The Renault coming. Is he going to get there? The 2 final corners. Can Troy keep it straight? He's coming. He's going to send it. No, he's not. So Troy barely is going to hang on to 3rd over Rolo. What a battle it was there at the end. Not much of a battle, but Rolo was there and ready to pounce. Should he had another lap, he would have gone there. Markle comes home 5th. And not much out of the ordinary out of those top 5 drivers. But here comes Volcanic. A very clean and quiet Grand Prix. Foursquare and Dan are going at it. Volcanic comes home in 6th. Actually, he's going to stop before the line. No, Ryan comes home 7th. Foursquare and Dan going at it for 9th, but Dan has time penalties. Oh, and they're making close contact. Foursquare's just got to keep it straight, though. He's not going to lose the spot as long as he doesn't wreck it. So many things comes across the line in A. Here comes Foursquare to finish 9th. And Dan, even with those time penalties, will come home and finish 10th. And wild battles up and down the running order for points. How about the top 10? How about Volcanic quietly getting himself a top 10?
Oh, that's right, Dylan's thing. Alright, I'll look at the results from a stream, guys, and then I'll be turning my stream off.
Yeah, please do, and take a look at Race Director, in case I don't catch him up.
Okay. Don't worry, I might have something I'm gonna appeal today.
Right. Alright. But anyway, here's our order. How about all those time penalties? My goodness. But up front, the race winner? None. Hector, another win. Back-to-back here for his first 2 career wins. Pillar 2nd. Troy 3rd. Rolo 4th. Barely 4th, by the way. Markle in 5th, racing for his own points this week.
What happened
Volcanic 6th. Ryan 7th. Many things. Foursquare 9th, and Dan the top 10. Look at the rest of the order there. Look at the race director. Kind of flick through them all.
I did, Emerson.
Yeah. Trying to get as many as we can.
I'll be back. Where are we racing for Dylan?
Phoenix. So yep, that's gonna do it here for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Let's see if we can get any post-race interviews out of Hector and Pillars before we go. That being the case, Malico, just tell Dylan that I'm doing post-race interviews. Alright. So Hector, Pillars, y'all got mics? I mean, y'all do have mics, but Rolo, you said you don't have a mic this week? Okay. So it looks like we won't get interviews from 3rd or 2nd, but Hector, are you there? Oh. Alright. Thank you, Ro. I'm sorry, Troy did get 3rd. Wow, that is all me. Yep. But yep. Thank you, Rolo. Alright. Well, let's get an interview from 3rd place finisher Troy. I'm sure your audio is shared, is it? Alright. We'll just get right on with it. Alright, Troy. Hard fought race, but a 3rd place finish. Wild racing, so many incidents. What's your takeaway?
Well, I mean, qualifying was a bit of a setback. Obviously, probably I should have pulled off a bit more, but you know, starting from 7th obviously wasn't ideal. But I think I was on the right tire choice this week. I probably could have practiced a bit more. Could have been a bit faster. Abu Dhabi isn't really. I don't really like this track, to be honest. Those orange little bump stops on the insides of the corners are just death if you hit them at speed anyway. But no, overall I'm satisfied with where I finished. Having a bit of wing damage might have slowed me down a bit, but I don't think it would have really made much difference. I think Rolo was the faster driver in this case, and obviously Pillars and Zesty, very good drivers deserving of the win today. And let's just hope we can make it 2 better in the next one.
Right on. Yeah, you've had a great run. So today you didn't lead many laps, if you did at all. Well, what do you think this constitutes to that? Was it your starting position, or just were those two just that much faster that they were able to just get the lead for that much longer?
Well, I don't think it was really my position at the start, to be honest. I think the VSC did play it did play into my hands quite a bit there. Obviously, jumping from 7th to 3rd was a big advantage, but honestly, I think it was just down to just me maybe just not knowing the track as much as those 2 other guys.
Right. Alright, anything different you could have done there? I mean, they are that fast. Did you learn anything racing with them that they're doing that you're not, or?
I mean, to be honest, I didn't really practice that much last week, so maybe just I might try different tire strategy next week for Suzuka, and obviously I'll have a bit more practice. Suzuka is my favorite track on the F1 calendar by far, so I'm hoping to get a bit more luck there, and we'll see how things go.
Right. Well, congratulations on the podium finish. It was a great one, and you were able to stick it out there at that last lap battle. So congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right, and let's see, one last call. Hector, you got us? Looks like Hector is not going to be able to do an interview. So that's going to do it here. Again, Hector, you can go back to last week's stream. He was very pumped about his win, and I'm sure...
My bad, I had the mic muted.
Oh, okay, you're here. All right. Do you have your voice shared? All right. So we're joined by our race winner in the Alfa Romeo, Hector. 2 in a row. How does that feel?
Not bad so far. Kind of upsetting how I was streaming with the PS4 and I got told my connection was poor and it blocked my time delta under the VRC for the first one that we had. Oh. So that cost. Yeah, that delta being blocked really hurt me. It cost me a good 12-15 seconds, but I'm glad I was able to pull back all that time and somehow get back where I wanted to be. I think without the VRC penalty, I could have got that fastest lap and maximized on points, but I can't be happy walking out, or I can be happy. Can't be disappointed without, or I'm not like, I'm just, how do I say it? I'm not disappointed, but could have been better without that dang thing out of my control. So, yeah. Oh, and Pillar just wanted me to say that he pees excellence. I guess I do as well. So yeah, not dissatisfied, but not satisfied entirely because I knew I had the pace to have a very big gap.
Just wild 2 races for you to get wins. Is it gonna take something happening to you for you to win these Grand Prix? I mean, last week it was running into the parked Haas. This week it was the pass-through because of speeding under the VSC. Is it going to take another incident at Suzuka for you to win, or what's going on here?
I really have no clue. I'm trying to stay as clean as I can. Obviously, you guys see no penalties. But, yeah. I'm just doing what I can. Whatever's out of my control is out of my control, like this week and last week, but... Regardless, the pace is there, and I think the overall finishing time is not respective of what I actually have. So, and I'm still learning with the wheel. So yeah, as I got the game, I started racing with the wheel, and I'm still learning with my wheel. So as it is, I feel like I can only get better from here.
Right. Well, let me just say that everybody here, or most of the veteran drivers of the series, know that they're kind of racing for second for the most part, other than like maybe Markle, because Ben was just so much faster. And now, obviously, Ben didn't race this week, but last week you were able to kind of just show up and beat out Ben. And I'm not sure how tonight would have gone, but you look pretty dominant to be able to bounce back from a speeding penalty. Do you think you offer to practice the drivers a lot weekly? Do you think you continuing to win is going to bring drivers into those practice sessions with you?
I hope people realize that, yeah, I might be pretty quick in here, but the reality is a lot of the real top tier drivers are a second and a half, maybe 2 seconds a lot faster than me. So I'm not one to look for. I'm not one to be looking at, but I always invite people to practice with me, and if they want to practice, they can. All I want to say is they don't have to be. Nobody should really set the eye on me. They should be setting up the esports drivers, seeing what they do. I try to bring to the table the best that I can do. They're more than welcome to race with me and learn with me because I'm still learning as well. At the end of the day, I was very, very humbled in my previous league, and I just tell myself to shut up and drive. That's really all it is.
Yeah, I think that strategy's starting to work. 2 victories here. So again, nothing but the best wishing for you as we go forward. Congratulations on your 2nd career victory and your 3rd career Grand Prix in this league, and good luck to you next week at Suzuka.
Thank you.
All right, well, this was a blast. Hate to dash out so quick on y'all, but I do have another league race in just a few minutes. But I hope you enjoyed this Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. It was incident-filled. It was tension-filled. You could feel the tension. There was drama. Everything up and down the grid, except up front. Hector was just fast, and fast is what he is. 2 weeks in a row, 2 wins. See if he's going to go 3 in a row next week at Suzuka. Tune in next week here, Sunday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. Also, again, thank you so much for the 100,000 channel views. It means a lot. Starting this channel 9 years ago, didn't ever think it'd get to that point. And obviously, 400 subscribers, it's not a lot to some people, but those mean a lot to me. Obviously, the more the merrier, and I'd always want more. But to all you guys that watched every video, I spam out a lot now that I have nothing better to do. But those people who do that and check out all those videos, thank you for that. So yeah, make sure you tune in just a few minutes. I'll have a NASCAR League race at the Phoenix Raceway on NASCAR Heat 4, just a few minutes. And thank you all for watching this Grand Prix here at Abu Dhabi, race number 3 on the season.